So don't make fun of me, Lindsay. I'm not going to win any Grammys or Emmys here for my riveting performance. But I wanted to thank you again for checking out this particular vehicle. Just to recap, this is the 2019 Cx3 in the Grand Touring trim level. I had originally leased this vehicle to a customer. They had turned in the lease towards a new Cx30, which is just slightly bigger than this one. That being said, with the history of the car, it was originally sold by me, so it was purchased here at Rorick. All of the maintenance was done at Rorick as well. You can look at that on the Carfax, or I can print up the maintenance reports, and then it was turned back in and another vehicle was purchased with us. Now, this being the Grand Touring level, there's going to be quite a few things to talk about as this is the fully loaded trim. One, this is a color called Titanium Flash, which I really like. It's like someone just really watered down their coffee or like diluted root beer. So it kind of has like this grayish brown to it with lots of metallic in the paint. Now wheels, you're going to have your 18-inch alloy wheels. Now speaking of tires above the wheels, tires, brakes, and rotors, which are your wearables on this vehicle, have to be 70% remaining life or better in order to pass a certification. So do know that that is some confidence that you'll get. You're not going to be purchasing a vehicle and then realize a year later you need tires and brakes. Now, another thing in terms of the certification, you are going to have what's remaining of the factory warranty plus a year. I have to pull the specs, but I do believe you're going to have close to 2 years of full bumper-to-bumper warranty and close to 5 years on drivetrain, which would be engine, transmission, all-wheel drive. Now, another thing is going to be the features themselves. If I walk up to the front grille, you're going to notice this emblem is fake, and there's a big camera up here on the windshield. All of those systems work together for what Mazda calls their iActive safety suite. So this vehicle will sense pedestrians, cars, obstacles, anything, and if it ever senses that you're about to crash, it's going to yell at you and then automatically slam on the brakes for you. Your headlights and your fog lights are going to be full LED, which are those very bright, piercing lights you see on a lot of like Audis, Lexus, Acura, BMW. They'll even move left to right as you turn the steering wheel, and then you might see the grille kind of extends into the headlight right there. That's actually an LED light bar, so those will kind of be your fancy daytime running lights on as just the car is driving in the daytime. I kind of feel like in the early 2000s, Audi started that with like all the blue dots that you saw on the front headlights, and then everyone hopped on the craze as well. Now you might notice a little black button on 2 of the door handles for the advance key. Just means as long as you have the key in your pocket or a bag, you can just walk up and use that button to lock and unlock. Now further branching on the safety front, the car can also sense light from other sources and use the high and low beams automatically. If you begin drifting out of your lane not paying attention, it can beep at you to alert you that you departed from your lane. You'll also have the backup camera as well as cross alert, so if it's not safe to back up, it will yell at you. And then the big one for me is blind spot, so you will have those indicators that light up in each side mirror to let you know if someone's running alongside of you, and then if you happen to be part of the 2% of Pittsburgh that uses a turn signal when driving, then it'll beep back at you. Now here in the rear, you'll see kind of very sporty little SUV. You kind of have the little divots up there to give roof lines. You have your shark fin antenna, a rear lip spoiler, and then you will see your dual exhaust pipes as this is the 2-liter Sky Active, and everything does go out through all-wheel drive. Though they're not on, you're going to have the same kind of light bar out of the headlight design in your tail lights to give it kind of a fancy little look there. And then all around the body, you have a little bit of satin, kind of here down at the rockers, and then you'll see that extends down into the front lip just to give it some more visual sort of oomph. Now, if I open up the interior, this is going to be the parchment interior. So you'll see that you kind of have almost like a cream sort of puff seat, if you would. You have gray piping that kind of matches some of the gray sort of Lux suede that they do across the dashboard, and then black paneling, black carpeting. So you have this really kind of nice two-tone. Now, very much German style, Mazda carries the screen 7 inches on top of the dash. They will let you touch things when you're parked or stopped, but when you're driving, forget about it, because everything is going to be controlled on that joystick system behind the gear shifter. Whether you're doing features, functions, radio, or whatnot, it's all going to be down there. Now, of course, this is the Grand Touring trim, so you would expect some amenities. I didn't go into full leather. You'll notice it's all perforated. Both the front seats are heated. You will see your sunroof up there, and everything goes out through the Bose audio system in this car. So hopping in here really quick to verify mileage, you're going to see 12,077 miles. Down here you'll have your auto climate system, some USB ports, you'll see your heated seats up here. This is the main system, so as I mentioned, communication for all of your advanced Bluetooth and such, and depending upon how advanced you want to update it, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are an update for $340 if that's something you ever decided to do. Now, built into the vehicle is GPS, so if I click navigation, you are going to see it pulls up a full map. It's already updated. If I shift into reverse, you're going to see that backup camera. But down here is that main story. This rolls around, rocks around, press down like a computer mouse to make a selection. You'll see volume for the radio, sport mode if you wanted to be that Pittsburgh driver, and your emergency brake with kind of a flip of the switch. A few other things, you might see 0 mph floating on the windshield on this little sort of screen that flips up. It's because these vehicles have a heads-up display. So this little screen will flip up when you start up the vehicle and project different road information, street information, even speed limits and navigation directions will go up onto the heads-up display. So you can not only see it over here, you can see it directly projected in front of you. Now the last thing I did forget is this little button here. This car has radar-based cruise control with stop and go. And real quick, Lindsay, I'm going to back this up into its parking spot while I go over that feature. So the adaptive cruise control will maintain a safe distance as you're driving. It can kind of slow down and pick back up based upon what it's following in front of you. And to show that really quick, you might kind of see those lines come down and then go back up and come down and go back up. So that's me setting my distance on how much space I want to maintain in the cruise. Now the stop and go means you can actually set that if you're stuck in, let's say, parkway traffic, and it will actually drive itself in traffic. It'll stop with traffic patterns, creep up when things start creeping, start moving when traffic moves, slow down, stop again, and so forth. Now, of course, there's going to be more features to talk about, but there's just a little bit too many for me to go over for the time being. The very last thing is the Rorik Advantage. This is something very unique to just our organization, but being that we are truly family-owned, every single vehicle of ours has lifetime-free oil changes and lifetime-free inspections. So every time you need an oil change and every year you need an inspection, it costs you $0, whether you own the car for 3 years or 30 years. Last but not least is a convenience feature. We do provide a loaner vehicle free of charge on any service visit, just to be respectful of your time so you're not packed into a lounge, and you can stop by anytime and get your car washed. So I appreciate it greatly, Lindsay. I'm going to run back into my office and upload this for you. And if I hear something back, great. Please feel free to send over more questions and concerns. If not, I do look forward to meeting you tomorrow afternoon, which is Friday. Thanks again.